this on me. Come on, partner, get in here, damn it. Oh, there he is.
Really
Hello.
gotta make seconds apart for this. Oh, there it is.
Hello, folks. Welcome to tonight's MegaMets Podcast episode. As we're joining New Japan across the pond in jolly old England in the Crystal Palace for Royal Quest 4. Sorry for the cock accent.
So it looks like we're getting ourselves a stacked card this season.
Yep. We'll start with the kickoff match. Youngblood, Yuto Nakashima and Oskar Leube, aka a couple of young lions who were sent on excursion after the Dominion tour, taking on Grease-old Brendan White and Danny Jones of British Independent fame. This looks like your run-of-the-mill power tag versus power tag match.
And you're going to get a brawl. That's all I know.
If this is to showcase how far Oskar and Yuto have come, I'm going to give it to them.
As will I. They at least deserve some sort of push to push themselves further.
At least until they come back within a year or so.
Yep. And with the kickoff match out of the way, let's get started. First up, we have ourselves a tag match of sorts. Taiji Ishimori and a mystery partner known as X versus CPF, Joe Lando and Danny Black.
And even though I would rather wait till the Super Junior Tag League to do it, I'll spoil the partner. Drum roll, please. It is Mustafa Ali.
Oh my God. He finally left WWE to join the big leagues.
He left WWE about a year or so ago.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, last saw him in TNA where he had a stint as the X Division champion. And to be honest, there was a clue he would join Bullet Club. You remember my Capital Collision live react?
Yeah.
Well, he said he wanted to join. He was going to find some way to get in the Best of Super Juniors 32 to have another match with Hiromu Takahashi next year. That meant he was coming to New Japan. I just didn't know where he was going to land. Sure enough, he's now part of Bullet Club. And this will be the partner Ishimori takes with him into the upcoming Super Junior Tag League this coming Thursday. We will be doing our picks for that at 7 o'clock on Monday.
So cannot wait for that. Mustafa Ali finally ready to hit the big leagues. This is going to be such fun.
I'm going to give this to Ishimori and Ali.
I agree. They deserve at least that, especially since Ali's now really ready up top.
Next up, it's a women's tag match. Mina Shirakawa, the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Champion, teams with Kanji against one half of the Knockouts Tag Champions and someone I met last Sunday's Deadlock Pro Wrestling event, Danny Luma of Spitfire against Azumi of Wonder Wrestling Stardom.
Yep. All I can say for certain is that with this match, it'll probably be a slaughter of sorts. But trying to pick who's going to win is tough.
Yeah.
You got very, very good opportunities on both sides. They're all very good.
Yeah, especially for Danny when you consider that when I saw her this past Sunday defeat Shoko Nakajima, she basically earned herself a crack at the Deadlock Pro Women's title. Even the Battle of the Best trophy got destroyed in the process.
Not to mention, Danny Luna was probably out for revenge.
Against Shoko? I don't think so.
I guess they're probably going to save that for elsewhere.
I don't really see TNA doing a working relationship with Tokyo Joshi Pro, which is the promotion Shoko is most synonymous with.
Yeah, I agree on that 100%.
I'm going to give this to Shirakawa and Kanji.
I'm probably going to be picking Luna and AZM. Sorry, but I figured it would try something different for a change.
Fair enough. Next up.
Right. I'll take over because you already did the last one. My turn. This one's a one-on-one match. Kosei Fujita versus Michael Oku.
You got the young punk of the Mighty Don't Kneel against a guy who had an over year-long reign as the British champion.
And he made a name for himself, that much I'm certain. Not to mention, Oku was also victorious at last year's Royal Quest 3, teaming up with Tanahashi and Kingston to defeat United Empire members TJP, Henare, and Jeff Cobb.
Mm-hmm.
You got yourself one of the best top stars in the UK. And on the other side, you have a man who's very good in both technical and aerial wrestling, thanks to some work with TMDK.
That's true, and probably one of the best up-and-coming best grads to come out of the dojo system in the last few, during the pandemic era.
That I am so thankful for. This is going to be tough. You're going to have a hell of a match. All the matches on the card is going to be so good.
I mean, the key to being Oku is you've got to ground him, and with the training that Fujita has from Zach, he's going to do as much as he can to cripple Oku and ground him.
However, Fujita's like a Mexican jumping bee. He's going to be relying not only on technicality, but aerial offense. Mm-hmm. And as you said, the only way you're going to stop him is by hitting him on the ground.
However, I think Oku will overcome that, so I'm going with him.
I agree. I'm also going with Oku, and I hope he pulls it off.
Match 4. Yota Tsuji against Drilla Moloney. Odd. I mean, yeah, Moloney is basically a heavyweight tank in a junior heavyweight body.
Yeah, I know.
And you know Moloney's going in pissed as fuck after dropping him and Connors dropped the IWGP Junior Tag titles to the Intergalactic Jet Setters on a surprise jackknife roll-up this past Monday.
Mm-hmm.
On Monday.
Yes, true. So true.
And when you compound the fact that the War Dogs are going to be the heavy favorites to win the Super Junior Tag League,
it's going to be wild. Mm-hmm. Let's also not forget that Moloney not only defeated the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion Yota Tsuji during Best of Super Junior, but also defeated IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Tetsuya Naito in the same calendar year.
Technically, they weren't champions at that time.
Yeah, I know.
And
interfering notwithstanding.
Yeah, the interference from Jake Lee, smart bastard.
Of course. Not to mention, it seems we're going to be finding out that Tsuji will probably be making his final appearance in the G1 Climax.
I think it's more of Naito. On a more somber note, we heard that Tanahashi made an announcement after the victory over House of Torture.
Which is?
He plans to retire at Wrestle Kingdom 20 in 2026.
That's in 2 years. I only hope he can be able to make it.
Actually, it's about 14 months.
Yeah, I know. This is going to be big.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm just going to make my choice. I'm going with Drilla. Time for him to earn and make it. No.
I'm going Tsuji.
Fair enough. Now it's my turn for this one. This one, another one-on-one match. Shota Umino versus Callum Newman.
This is basically a rematch of their G1 34 match opener where Callum actually got a W over Umino.
That's nuts.
And when
he also made a name for himself during the G1 against Zack Sabre Jr., Shingo Takagi, and Gray Okan.
Yeah, but
it was not easy.
Yeah, but then he got chipped out of a match by Evil, put up a hard fight against Naito and fell, got clobbered by Lee, out-wrestled by Sonata.
Oh my God, this is like a bad record. Jesus Christ.
Let me see what his last match was, too.
Not to mention, Callum was also scouted by Will Ospreay to join United Empire last year, and he made a name for himself.
Oh, and he got bludgeoned by Gabe Kidd during the G1 to Umino.
Jesus. Not to mention, during the G1 last year, Newman scored a victory in his first ever match over, of all things, his own opponent, Umino.
That was this year's G1.
Oh, yeah, this one. I forgot. This one's G1. He got his first win against him. And my guess, Umino isn't taking that lightly.
Especially when you consider what's being set for Power Struggle. It's sort of a strange bedfellow / pick your poison semi-main and main event.
What's with these pick your poison sorts of things?
Well, let me explain this case. We know what the main event is for this match. Whoever wins was given an envelope. Both men were given an envelope. Whoever's picture they pulled out of the envelope would be the man they face at Power Struggle, regardless if they held the title or not. Sonata got Shota, Zach got Shingo.
Wow.
So if Sonata doesn't win, his match against Umino at Power Struggle is for top contender status. If he does beat Zach, it's for the IWGP World Heavyweight title. With that incentive in mind, I'm going to give this to Shooter. Where do you stand?
Oh, this is tough. I actually want Newman to win, honestly. Newman's making a name for himself, and I'm hoping that he goes far. Very far.
Interesting choice.
Yeah, I'm choosing Newman for this.
Next up, oh boy. Can you say cannon fodder with this one?
This is not just cannon fodder. This is more like a war zone that's going to end up over before it began.
And anyway, David Finlay versus TAKA Michinoku.
Like I said, Michinoku is still doing this thing? Oh my God, he's been doing it for so long.
Like I said, for this match, TAKA is simple cannon fodder. He's nothing more than set up for David Finlay's global heavyweight title defense at Power Struggle on November 4th against Taiji.
This is just out of the blue.
And even then, Taiji's basically a substitute because the guy Finlay really wants, Yuya Uemura, still dealing with an elbow issue. He's been on the shelf for at least 2.5 months now.
I don't know how long that injury is going to last. Most injuries, mostly probably be
at minimum, it's going to take him 6 to recover from it.
6 months. By then, it's probably going to be 2025.
Yeah, like around New Beginning. At worst is when Uemura comes back. If he can rush it, at best, he'll go after Finlay at Wrestle Kingdom.
Pretty much. I'm making my vote. Sorry, TAKA, but you're pretty much fodder on this one, so I'm voting Finlay.
Yeah. Finlay may not have to defend gold, but he is bringing het. He's going to bring a corpse in this one.
Oh, boy. Okay, my turn now. This one's a 6-man tag match. On the left, Los Ingobernables de Japon, Tetsuya Naito, Hiromu Takahashi, and Titan versus the TMDK, Ryohei Oiwa and Robbie Eagles, and Mascara Dorada.
Interesting to see the Golden Mask team with TMDK.
This is going to be an interesting match. I'll give you that much. I'm serious. You've got a very stacked tag match.
And what I find even more and I find it interesting that this year Teton is not teaming with Bushi for the Super Junior Tag League. It's going to be Hiromu.
That's something I never see every day. But either way, this is going to be big because we know for a fact that Naito has been victorious in every Royal Quest to date.
True.
Ever since he lost the IWGP title, Naito's forced to start over.
But with how borrowed a time his body is on, can he even try to start over going to 25?
His body's like a ticking time bomb. One mistake, and he's bald.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out Hiromu Takahashi, he's suffered the same way. He didn't even win the Never Openweight title in September before recovering a win against Mystico and King of Pro Wrestling. It seems to stand still on this one, and that of TMDK. Yeah. Especially since with the return of Ryohei Oiwa from Pro Wrestling No Alone and Robbie Eagles. Yeah,
he's been basically spending he usually spends every time he's not on a tournament schedule in Australia.
Yeah. And then you have the contingent in the Mexican side. You have the ever spectacular Mascara Dorada, who was part of the Fantastica Mania tour this year. And he's siding with TMDK for one night only to clash with Titan. There's also Titan. And there's also the fact that El Immortal defeated Dorada to win CML's Copa Independencia tournament about a month ago in September. And Dorada's out for blood.
The Independence Cup?
Yes.
Interesting.
And Immortal defeated Dorada, and now Dorada's out for blood.
I'm going to give this one. Who are you giving it to? I'll let you make it.
This is going to be a tough because you got so many good people in this match. It's going to be one hell of a show. Plus with the mass wrestlers in there, it's going to be a high flying mess.
It will be.
I'm choosing TMDK and Mascara Dorada. You?
I'm going to give the Ganadores de los Ingobernables de Japon.
I figured you made that choice. Smart decision.
Next up, what could be either the penultimate or final appearance in London for the Ace, as he and the Stone Pitbull, Tomohiro Ishii, challenge Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols for the strong openweight tag titles. I would have thought this for November 8th in Boston at Fighting Spirit Unleashed, but no, they're going to do it in London.
Why would they want to do it in London? I don't get it.
Well, Tanahashi said he wanted the titles defended off Japanese soil, away from Japanese soil.
Of course they would do this. I'm not surprised.
I mean, strictly, he wanted the strong titles defended, not defended on Japanese soil.
I can understand why they don't want to do that, because I think they might have valued. They don't want it in a place like that, so they want to do it elsewhere.
That said, while Ishii and Tanahashi had great chemistry as 2/3 of probably the second most dominant never openweight six-man tag team title combo of all time alongside Kazuchika Okada, their chemistry has been a bit rusty lately.
Yeah, rusty like a fallen piece of paper.
Especially now that you consider that Tanahashi has a new team with Toru Yano and Bolton Oleg. But sooner or later, you're going to have to get those belts off him if Tanahashi's going to hang up.
Yeah, that's true. This is tough. On one hand, I want to see Tanahashi and Ishii at least have one more opportunity to be champs before you get the idea. Yeah, but on the other hand, I don't think he can handle it long term, since if he's going to be retiring soon, well, yeah, that's tough.
Yeah, especially when he's turning 49, either 48 or 49 this year and 50 next.
Yeah. In my opinion, it's going, forgive me for saying this, but I'm going to make my pick. I believe TMDK is going to retain.
I also agree with that, because Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols are mighty, and the mighty don't kneel.
I agree.
Want to close it out?
Oh, yes. Now we reach the main event. For the IWGP World Heavyweight title, you have the champion, Zack Sabre Jr., his opponent, the challenger, Sanada.
It has come home at long last. Something Zack slaved over for the last 8 of his years of his 20-year career. Finally at the top of the mountain. But would New Japan be stupid enough to give him a transitional reign? I don't think so. True, he and Sanada probably have some of the best chemistry I've seen in a Japanese ring. However, this is the first time one-on-one the two have faced off when they were not apart outside of their original starting factions. For Zack, it was Suzuki-gun, and for Sanada, it was Los Ingobernables de Japon. Now they lead TMDK and Just 5 Guys, respectively.
Indeed.
When you consider the pressure that's built, whoever wins the title, they've got a challenger in the wings. For Zack, it's Shingo. For Sanada, Umino. And whoever loses gets bumped down to second fiddle status.
Yep. This is going to be Zack Sabre Jr.'s first title defense. And of all people, his rival, Sanada himself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Sanada,
this match came about ever since Sanada pinned Zack in Sendai during the Road to Destruction in September.
and Sanada, I'm not gonna lie, your title reign last year was very hit or miss. On the one hand, you had some bangers.
It was more miss than hit, if anything.
Yeah, I would agree with that. On the one hand, he had good matches with Hiromu and Yota Tsuji. But on the other hand, his match with Jack Perry was okay. At Forbidden Door last year was okay at best. But a shit heap against Evil really kind of derailed it and led to you dropping the gold to Naito at this year's Wrestle Kingdom. This past year's Wrestle Kingdom. I mean, you reached the top of the mountain, but it got kind of boring, to be honest. I mean, sure, both of Naito's reigns didn't last long, but they had genuine tension to them. You didn't know when his body was going to give out. It was more about survival, staying on the top of the mountain, than being on top of the mountain in his case.
Mm-hmm.
For Zack, it's all about being on top of the mountain. He's finally there, and he's not giving that up. It took him this long for it to come home. It's staying home. Sanada, to quote Zack, sorry, dickhead, but Zack Sabre Jr. is mighty, and the mighty don't kneel. I'm giving it to the front man to hold on to.
I'm also giving it to Zack. Sorry, Sanada, but for as much as you want this opportunity, I don't think you're going to be returning the favor.
That's for sure. That's it for tonight's stream of the MegaMets. We'll be back Monday night to go over our prognostications for New Japan's Super Junior Tag League, which will begin this coming Thursday.
This is going to get quite wild.
Same MegaMets time, same MegaMets channel. Comment, like, and subscribe to our networks. And also subscribe to my buddies over at the Big Blue Crew Sports Network. Goodbye and good fucking night. Bang.
Bang.
Thanks for the help, Jose.